Hello and welcome to the SRA Specific Skills Mechanics Book D. I always do my disclaimer, this is for educational purposes only. If you're choosing to print out the paper, print out the pages, I suggest getting some sheet protectors so that if you happen to just want to maybe create your own answer key at the end of this video, I have the answer key that will be presented and available for you as well. You can print it out. But either way, you can at least have a copy of this if you want, print it out, put it in sheet protectors. You can utilize dry erase markers to either help teach the lesson or kind of do a couple of examples. Because the way that you would do this is to do the first two problems with your student. Now, you want to always, always, always read to the teacher and to the student pages. The second thing that I want to cover is being creative with this. I'm going to say this at the beginning of every video. You don't have to just use notebook paper and pencil. This isn't your classwork that you're doing for or homework that you're doing for your teacher or that your kid or student would be doing for you. This is just extra practice. It's reinforcing a skill. In fact, this is probably one of the best ways to introduce something, so that introduce a skill and teach it, because you're going to see all the variations within it. So use some construction paper, some markers, some chalk markers, some, I don't know, watercolor sketch paper, wax paper, parchment paper, doesn't matter. Just, take this opportunity to be creative and make the learning environment a little bit more fun. I'm going to spend 5 to 6 seconds per page. That'll be just enough time for you to be able to pause the video, work on it page by page, or just print out the page. I don't want to waste too much time because I'm not going to be doing any talking beyond this point. And then at the very end to close this session. And to the student, I forgot to say I was going to pause here, but on the to the student page, as you can see, it has the outlines. Book D has a total of 12 units. As you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 objectives here in this particular book for mechanics. They're all very important. Book D, the letters associated with the grade, so book D would be grade 4. That doesn't mean you need to be in 4th grade to learn some of these. It's really a good refresher that I've used for middle and high schoolers, and even test prep for ACT and SAT, because some of these questions do come up in the SAT when they're given a reading sample and they have to identify whether this sentence is punctuated correctly or this, that, or the other. But I want to make sure that you understand that you're going to have some variations. They're going to go through at the very top of every page at the beginning of the unit, not every page, but at the beginning of every unit, at the very top, they're going to have a set of rules or examples, both rules and examples. But as you move forward within the book, don't forget those, because you have your language activity pages. So this isn't just to, work to be done. This isn't busy work. This is work that you really should be trying to work out. And I forgot to say at the very beginning too, because I've had so many variations in this video, I forgot. Please make sure that when you're doing this, I know I said print it out, put it in sheet protectors. It's mostly for parents. This video is mostly made for parents, and I know that you guys probably don't want to be, looking at the answer key and going back and forth through a video or whatever. So it's an opportunity that you can print out the answer key, or you can print out the pages, do one set for you and one set for your student, or just keep one set all together, and you can go through and teach the lesson and use dry erase markers to either write notes on it, or if you're going to go ahead and just write multiple choice, that's great. I do not suggest using multiple choice dry erase markers or anything like that for these particular books. You need to be getting a sheet of paper, or marker and pencil or however way you're going to do this and write everything down, because whenever you're writing, you're actively thinking, and that's going to build your working memory, and then within the working memory, it's going to allow your long-term memory to store the information correctly to the point where you can recall things and not have to go, oh, what was that I just learned? I forgot like 5 minutes ago. So the more practice either way, more practice you have, the better. So I highly suggest, if this is not enough practice on a particular set of rules, get onto Google and you can look up on Khan Academy or Quizlet, or I'm sure that the teachers have various different sites that you can visit. And of course, the To the Student page gives you examples so that you have an idea of what to expect. And at the very end, it's going to have your learning goal, which is very much like what teachers are required to have on their dry erase boards for their students anyway, the learning objective, learning goal. So this gives everything for you. You don't really have to do too much thinking. And now you're going to have complete silence in 5 seconds per page. So here we go. And I will show the answer key now. Okay, so this is the answer key for book D. I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to scroll so you can kind of pause the video at any point in time to check answers if you're not printing this out. Alright, and I'm going to zoom in on language activity pages have words since you're filling in blanks in this particular skill set for mechanics. And other than that, that is the end of this book.